is an
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see.
Hey guys, what is up? Big Red Reviews here, back again with another video. And today we are talking about the Minecraft movie. This has been hyped, maybe not hyped, for months, almost a year now since we heard that we were making it. We saw the trailer, it was really shit on. I feel like as more of the trailers came out, the general consensus got a little more positive. But there was some really interesting creative decisions that were made with this movie that I don't think a lot of people expecting them to do, and I kind of want to get into that. I'm going to do some non-spoilers first, and when I get into the spoiler section, I will let you know. First off, was this movie horrible? No. Was it great? No. Was it in the mid, just above mid? Yes, I think that's where I put it. I'm going to say my score outright. I really do think this is about like a 3.5, like 3 to 3.5 out of 5. There's a lot of good in this movie, and the one thing this movie does strive on is I do feel like they're making this movie for us. And when I say us, I mean like not even just people my age, like either my age or older, like people who played it in like 2010, 2011, and you know, we were there for the YouTube days, and you know, so we get some jokes and stuff, and I feel like they kind of know what we wanted, and I think they kind of anticipated this movie would get memed a little bit. I just say that because the jokes in this film are just like, this movie, the best way I can describe it is it's some of it's so dumb that it works and it's funny. It's one of those movies that you can really just turn your brain off, and there's some really like funny things and cool things they do, which I'll get into. Like it was in the trailer, like one of the scenes they're talking about night, and man, that was quicker than I thought, you know, because we always said that growing up. And then like Steve's like, yeah, day only lasts 20 minutes here, and just little things like that for the game that I really liked. I did honestly kind of like the chemistry between the characters, I'm not gonna lie. It was really rushed, and you know, the relationships were really rushed. They kind of did it in a way where, you know, they didn't really have to have an established relationship like some of them. The standouts in this movie are obviously, as much as people shit on him, Jack Black is funny, and I did like him in this, and just the way he played Steve. I do wish at the end of the day it was kind of at least animated and it was like normal looking Steve, but I'm not gonna lie guys, I just had fun. And I'm gonna come at this, my friend told me to do a non-biased review and a biased review, and I just can't do that. And that's really just because I'm just going to be so biased to this film. As my friends know, Minecraft's my favorite game. I play it all the time. I grew up, like, that was like my one thing I grew up with. Like, I played COD and all that, but, like, I was heavy into the Minecraft community. I mean, this sword is in the background of some of my YouTube videos from when I was, like, 12. Like, I've had the same world for, like, 10 years. I play it all the time. So I was going into this film biased. I knew even if this film was shit, I was just going to enjoy it because this is what kid me wanted. We wanted an actual movie on the big screen for Minecraft. I feel like, you know, a lot of my stuff was met. The bad stuff is the first maybe half. It's like about 30 minutes, I feel like, until they actually get into Minecraft. Like the beginning, I'm not going to really spoil it, but you do see some of the Minecraft part. You get Steve's backstory and stuff. And I think it was pretty funny. Like we saw the clip in the trailer, the yearn for the mines. Like that's the shit I'm talking about, where that was a meme on Twitter like 6+ years ago, 7 years ago in the Minecraft community. And there's a lot of like really small things in the Minecraft community that showed me at least some people on this crew do care. Like the first half, like the first act of the movie is pretty slow. Like, you know, because it's getting you up to date on who these characters are. I did like the Jason Momoa stuff, but with the siblings, I really didn't care. Like, I get what they were going for, but we saw like a lot of the school life and stuff. I just really wanted to get into the Minecraft world. So that's like really the only part of the movie I really didn't care about. I personally think like the middle part of this film, and the final act's good too, but I feel like the middle act of this film is probably the best. Like when they first get in the Minecraft world and they're trying to survive their first night, and we meet Steve and all that, and then the iconic lines, you know, fucking I am Steve, chicken jockey, all that stuff. But I feel like the second act is my favorite, and the third act was strong too. I just wish this movie was a little more like smart on the Minecraft mechanics. Like, I guess it's just me being like a nitpicky nerd, but like there's some really funny stuff that we've actually done. Like they had a chicken farm, Steve has a creeper farm and all that. But then there's like other stuff that doesn't make like sense. I just wish they really like stuck to the game rules, if that makes sense. Like anytime they killed a zombie, I wish that it would just disappear in rotten flesh. I really wish they did that, and they didn't. But I mean, that's just little nitpicky stuff, honestly. I think the score was alright, nothing really set up. Anytime they played like the old school Minecraft music, I got goosebumps. Even the newer stuff like Pig Step or something, if you hear that, it was really great to hear. I wish this whole movie was just old Minecraft music, but it wasn't bad. Here's where a lot of people might lose me. I do think the effects really weren't that bad. There were obviously a few shots where there's like 2 shots in particular. One where the kid's on the elytra and you can really tell he's on a green screen, and another one is, I think it's towards the end when Jack Black's talking to the characters. That one, like, the lighting just looked off on him. Obviously they're in a green screen, but there is a lot of practical sets. Like a lot of the trees and stuff that are in the vicinity of the characters are real. I just really like the art design in this film. Obviously some stuff stands out, but I really like the creepers. I really liked, like, just a lot of the mobs, like the villagers especially, and I think they did a good job. And it goes back to, like, when I was talking about the Fallout show. Anytime they mention stuff you do in Minecraft, it's just so funny. Like the chicken farm where he does the lava and the chicken, and I just love those little things. I wish there was more of those, but there was a lot. Like when he mentions creeper farms and stuff, it was really funny. But I do want to get into some spoilers right now, guys. So if you haven't seen the movie, click away. At the beginning, obviously, we get Steve's, intro and all that. I really like that, him finding out. I wish they would, like, mention the end. I don't know if they're saving it for a sequel, which we'll get into that later. But, like, again, like, part of the lore, like I was talking about a couple of minutes ago, is like, okay, Minecraft lore. So Steve has an elytra in the movie, which means he's beaten the Ender Dragon, but there's no mention of the Ender Dragon. So maybe they'll change how it reacts. We never see a blaze rod or a blaze. We see an enderpearl, and he has an elytra. So what's weird is, like, yeah, he found the nether and he was instantly stuck there, from what we know. He found the nether, walked in, and he was captured. So he didn't get blaze rods and go and go and beat the Ender Dragon. So how does he have elytras, right? That was like my biggest nitpick when it came to, like, how Minecraft works fundamentally. I was like, he has to go beat the Ender Dragon. Why does he have 3 elytras? Maybe they'll change it up in the movie, obviously. I just really hope we see the Ender Dragon. I think that'd be fucking cool, seeing, like, the final battle being the Ender Dragon. That'd be fucking sick. And then obviously we get to, like, so I first thought the movie was set in the 90s, but then, because it looked really 90s-esque, and it's because, this director, I forgot his name, does a great job because he did Napoleon Dynamite, and what was so great about Napoleon Dynamite is he really made this, like, part of, like, the city they're in just look so boring and bland. And he does the same thing with this. I thought we were in the 90s until she mentioned, like, she had to get, like, the following up on the company she works for. I was like, oh, we're in present day. And like I said, like, the part where we find, we find out she's basically taking care of her brother. They just bought a house, which in today's economy, crazy. And we meet the realtor, and then we just see them kind of going to school and her going to work. And that part was just kind of tedious to me. We see Jennifer Coolidge, which she is... Anytime she was on screen, first off, I was dying laughing. Second off, this is where I was talking about, I think the creators just knew how fucking out of this world and funny her plotline would be, and they just stuck to it. If you don't know, her plotline's pretty short. Her plotline's basically she finds a villager comes into the overworld, like our world, and she hits him with a car, and she says some funny line like, "Oh, it happened again." She takes him to dinner, and she's basically, like, flirting with him, and then they end up getting married the next day, and then we hear, like, the villager talk, and it's the dude who voices Codsworth in Fallout, and then we find out that she can now speak villager, and she makes the villager, like, Jennifer Coolidge making a villager sound is fucking peak comedy to me. I was like, my whole theater was dying laughing. I was dying, and that's just kind of stuff that's more for, like, adults, because we know who Jennifer Coolidge is and all that, but that plot line was funny. And then finally we get to the point where they enter Minecraft, and like I said, that whole act where they finally get the cube, they enter Minecraft, and then they have to survive the first night, and it all of a sudden turns night, and we see him digging underground, and then they're making, like, some house made out of, like, shit wood and stuff, and then they meet Steve, and Steve, like I said, I mean, as much as we shit on it, and as much as I do wish it was animation, like, we have to just look at what we have. I think Jack Black was funny. Yes, it's kind of like the Rock situation where Jack Black plays himself in every movie, but it was... I kind of saw what they're going for, because in this universe, it's not like Steve's just a person in there. Like, he was a person in the real world who went in here, so it makes sense he just looks like Jack Black, but it was still funny as shit. Like, him just, like, naming all these different things in the Minecraft world. And also, something I forgot to talk about when I originally recorded this was there's a scene, and this is what I'm talking about when I say I think they're writing these jokes on purpose, because they know that we've made that joke online, so they're, like, catering to us. I don't think this is, like, a genuine, like, line that someone made without even seeing the memes from it. They're all, like, huddling together before a big fight, and Jack Black says, we have to mine and craft Minecraft. And he literally says that, and that was one of the bigger laughs for me in this movie, just because it was so dumb, but we've made those jokes for years online. Like, once we heard Jack Black was in there, that we were like, they're gonna, like, shake on Minecraft and stuff. I just feel like the fact that they actually did it was pretty hilarious. And there were some, like, adult jokes in this movie too, like, pretty on, like she said, Jennifer Coolidge says something to Jason Momoa's character, like, oh, you can, like, tie me up as, like, in a trash bag, but the way they worded it was, like, tie me up in bed. I was like, oh, this is a kid's movie, Jennifer Coolidge, I don't know. But my favorite, I saw Dan TDM is in a scene. I saw Jeb, who, if you don't know, he's, like, the main head of Minecraft right now. He was a waiter. I didn't see any Captain Sparkles. I've been saying it for months that he's my favorite Minecraft YouTuber. Obviously, he made, like, Fallen Kingdom, and I really wish Creeper, oh man, was in this movie. I mean, I think it'll be in the sequel because now they see everyone missing it. But I really wanted that in there. But my favorite is obviously there's a pig with a crown walking by, and Steve said, and they're like, "Is that normal?" Steve's like, "Yeah, he's a legend." And obviously, if you guys don't know, pig with a crown on its head was Technoblade's profile pic. If you don't know, Technoblade was this big Minecraft YouTuber, and a few years ago, he actually succumbed to cancer and died. So I think it was really cool that they did that, and it was really fucking cool to just have like Steve, who Jack Black this whole movie is not really serious except for like a few times with his dog, to just drop everything and be like, he's a legend. Like that was, you could just tell it's just for us, like our hardcore, and a lot of people were like, I even heard a girl crying, I really like that. The village part was funny, and you know, like the villain was cool. It was like basically like this Hoglin who, again, like I just feel like they threw shit at a dartboard and thought what would be funny. It was like Nether's Got Talent, and she was a Hoglin dancing, and they hated it, so now she's evil. Like, it was just, like, so far out of left field. And the villain just, there's, like, this little piglin, like, baby piglin, who, like, draws a picture of a happy home, and she stabs the kid and kills the kid, and he turns into a pork chop. I'm like, what the, I literally belched out laughing. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's so stupid that it's funny. And she basically wants to take over the overworld and turn it dark forever, so where people can't create and there's monsters out all the time. That's basically the plot of the movie. One of the most entertaining scenes, honestly, was right when the village gets attacked and they go and they're all on elytras, like 3 of them, just because Jack Black and Jason Momoa's like comedy chemistry is just so I was dying laughing. Like they're both on an elytra, and then they have to like squeeze through this 1x1, which I love that they did that, because anyone who has an elytra ever in Minecraft has at least once tried the 1x1 like fly through. And that whole sequence was funny. And then obviously that leads into the water bucket, which I saw that in the trailer. I thought that was really cool because, as you know, the clutch water bucket, so you don't take fall damage. I thought that was pretty funny. Jason Momoa, like I said, in my opinion, carries this movie heavy. I mean, he was funny as hell this whole movie. He gets like hit so much. He's like a tank. I kind of wish they played, like I said, more into like the hunger meter and stuff. But, you know, obviously it's a movie, so they couldn't do all of that. But, and like I said, the third act's good too. I love when they go through the mountain and they're going through like this dark cavern and they're on this minecart and all of a sudden it's just all these creepers and he just says Creeper Farm. Like that totally took me off guard because like I just thought they were just like, oh, the creeper's the face of Minecraft. I just put a bunch of them here. But when he said Creeper Farm, that was genuinely funny as hell to me because I've had that exact farm before. And then they get to the woodland mansion and then they have the scene from the trailer, which is probably the most famous line from this movie other than the Nether or I Am Steve, where he says chicken jockey, and people were like cheering in my theater. There's like a TikTok video where like the whole theater literally yells, like endgame level yells when he says it. And they're basically just in like a boxing ring fighting a chicken jockey, and they're getting their ass beat. I thought that was pretty funny. And there's a quick scene as well when the kid is going through all these chests. You see like items from the game, like you see a golden apple and you see cobblestone. I thought that was pretty cool as well. And there's like one scene of an Enderman. I wish there was more because I love Enderman, and I really love like what the Enderman does to you in this movie, because obviously in the game it's like, you know, there's, you know, the music gets loud and he's just like starts teleporting to you, but in this it's like the Enderman takes over like your mind a little bit, and it's basically like, you know, it's kind of like a Horcrux from Harry Potter, where so if you look at the Enderman, it just starts telling you, like, he just sees flashes of all these characters being mean to him, and then like it's just distorting. I thought that was pretty cool. Also, that Enderman took like 10 hits from a diamond axe, which is pretty, a lot of these monsters were like tanking shit, because in their normal game it's just 2 hits. I think you see a netherite sword on the wall. I couldn't tell, but it looked, because he had like wood, sword, or he had wood, stone, gold, iron, diamond, and then obviously after diamond the only thing left is netherite. So I'm shocked that it kind of doesn't make sense if that was netherite, because like I said, the first time he's in the nether is when he gets captured. I don't know, they didn't really show netherite, they just stuck to diamond and all that stuff. And then yeah, they just fight the bad guy. Obviously they win, and then like I said, The end credits scene is just something. First off, there's a scene that plays during the credits, but it's not like an end credits scene. That's basically the one I was telling you about, where Jennifer Coolidge and the villager are basically married and stuff. The end credits scene was something I said as a joke, and a lot of people online said it actually turned out to be true. Where he goes to his old house and it's this girl, and she says, my name, and she has her hair like this, so I instantly knew it was Alex, and she's like, oh, my name's Alex. And they're obviously setting up a sequel. Because she's like, oh yeah, your box is in the attic. So I wonder what's in that box, because I'm sure we'll get back to it. Because, Steve goes into the overworld, but I guess they can somehow get back to the Minecraft world if they wanted to. But yeah, I knew Alex was going to be in it. It's funny. You don't see her face, and her voice low-key sounded AI. It low-key did. It sounded like an AI voice I've used before, like when I do my maps or whatever. And so I don't know if they did that. I'm not going to say they did because it's not 100%. But since they probably didn't cast Alex yet, if she's going to be in the next movie, then it would make... I hate saying it would make sense because I don't support AI, but if they didn't use someone, they should have used like a lower actor, like a D-list actor, and just have him voice line that one line, but I couldn't tell. But guys, I mean, the best way I can describe the Minecraft movie is just dumb movie fun. If you're going in here to see a Citizen Kane or an Oppenheimer level plot, you're not going to see that. If you're a fan of Minecraft and you just want to have a good time where they make fun of some of the game mechanics, they use some of the game mechanics, and they reference some deep cut Minecraft lore, I think this movie's for you. I mean, the comedy genuinely is funny. There are a couple jokes that obviously don't hit, but that's with every movie. And the chemistry is actually way better than I thought it was going to be. And obviously, I was going to like this movie either way, but I genuinely did have low expectations, and it did surpass them. I had a good time, and that's what movies are about. I feel like nowadays everyone just wants a movie to be like the best writing, the best narrative, like Oppenheimer level, all this. No, like, it's good to have movies like this that are just pure dumb fun where I can turn my brain off, and it really helps that it is Minecraft, because it was fun to see them do the mechanics of Minecraft. For a sequel, I would love to see the Ender Dragon, maybe the Wither. We saw no Wither skeletons. Like, Jack Black says something like, oh, they want to wither away everything, like the Hoglins, but we never see the Wither or Wither skeleton or a Blaze. There's a lot of mobs we actually haven't seen. We don't see the Ender Dragon, which I still think that would be cool. I think it would be so cool. Or maybe if they're going to do a trilogy, it would be cool. Maybe if the Wither's the middle movie, and then the end leads up to the Ender Dragon. There's no way we don't see the Ender Dragon. If they keep making more movies, Minecraft movies, there's no way we don't see an Ender Dragon. That's my big thing. But yeah, I'm going to give this movie a 3.5. I'm going to give it a 3. I can't go to a 3. Because I feel like a 3's mid. I think it's just above. Like, it's fun. I had a fun time. I was laughing. Everyone was having a good time. And, it feels so good to just turn your brain off and just enjoy something. Let me know what you guys think down below. It's been Joey, as always. I'm still editing this MCU review. It's taken a fucking long time. But I love you guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.